Hi, Pam here. So today, this video is how to avoid violence or danger. And it's something I've been wanting to share for a while now because I learned a lot by reading a really good book several years ago and some other books. And there were several different situations that happened to me when I was out and about by myself. They were really scary, and how it could have gone wrong and gone bad. So I want to share that with you because we're living in a crazy world and you really have to watch it. You just have to be aware of your surroundings. So stay tuned and I'm going to share that with you. So I'm going to do several clips. And there's a lot of different areas to this subject, but the one I'm addressing more is when you're out and about, or ladies, when we're out and about, how to be aware of our surroundings and what to do if there's a perpetrator. And I had read this book. It was really good. The guy was a former bodyguard for presidents. And what they're doing is they're looking to avoid violence to the president. They're just not only going to be there if something happens, they're watching out and looking for clues and signs along the way so they avoid it. So that's what we're talking about here. And that's what I learned from his book, and I applied it. Okay, and then I added some things that worked for me very well. So, first thing is, ladies or whomever, guys, this can apply to you too. Some of the things, of course, but I don't think you're typically the victim, not typically, the victim of like a sexual crime, not typically, or maybe a mugging. You could, that has happened, but maybe it's because you guys are typically stronger and we're a little bit more easy to overcome or be overpowered, but it can apply to you too, okay? So anyway, ladies, whomever, so when we're out and about, I'm out and about a lot by myself on my own and going here, going there, and I do a lot of it in the evening and at night, and I am always very aware of my surroundings. It doesn't matter if it's daytime or nighttime. So that really is key. He even said that himself in the book. You have to always be aware of your surroundings at all times. Always. So, when I'm out and about, daytime, nighttime, and I'm going to my car, I'm always looking around everywhere. And that's what he says, and that's what you should always be doing, because perpetrators are always looking for the person that's not aware. They want the person that's oblivious to their surroundings. And the reason is because they don't want a fight on their hands. They want an easy target, an easy target to assault or shove you in a car and abduct you, or whatever they're going to do, steal your money, whatever. Okay, they want an easy target because they don't want to get hurt themselves and they don't want to fight on their hands. So if you are walking around daytime, nighttime, sheepishly, meaning like with your head down, texting, or not paying attention to your surroundings, they're going to go for you. That's who they're going to go for. So I learned that a long time ago, and I don't ever do that. If I'm walking in a parking lot, I make sure my head's up and I walk very confidently, walk at the parking lot, and I turn and I look around at my surroundings. Who cares what anybody thinks? I mean, people wonder what I'm doing. I don't care. Doesn't really matter. I'm looking around because I want to know what's going on around me. And that's what you need to do too. And it's very foolish to be texting. Okay, do it when you get in your car or after you lock the door. So that's key. If you're not paying attention, there could be a perpetrator right behind the other car and jump out and grab you and push you in the car. So, but if you're not looking around or aware of your surroundings, you're not going to notice that, okay? Now, this is something I do. He could have had it in the book. I don't know. I didn't read every single word. I read a lot of it. But this works very well because you don't want to act like you're afraid, okay? So, but anyway, so here's what I do. This has warded off a lot of things, and that's why I'm sharing it. So obviously that's a mace, and that's on my keychain. It's not pink. Don't get pink, okay? Whatever, but don't get pink. And so what I do is I leave the store. I have the keys right with me. I don't have them in my purse. I have them in my hand. And when I'm walking the parking lot, whether I have packages or not, I am holding my mace up like this. Why? Because I want people to see that I have mace. What you're trying to do is deter violence. I don't want to have violence come on me and have to use this. That would be scary as anything. I'm trying to prevent it. So by me holding my mace, perpetrator or whoever, if they were one, they're going to see that I have mace. And I want them to see it. Okay? Because they're going to be less likely to go up to the person that's paying attention to their surroundings and they know it's mace. Why would they want to be maced? Okay? I mean, mace is not perfect. It can, if the wind's blowing, it can blow back on you, but they still don't want to be maced. Okay? So that's why I have it out. I'm trying to avoid that situation, and I want whoever, because you don't know who's the perpetrator and you don't know who's not. Could be no perpetrators, but could be one in there. They mix in. I want them to know. I want to be safe. So I always have that out and I put it where you can see it. I don't conceal it. Okay? So in a moment, and then I have a lot more, but in a moment then, I'm going to share how holding that mace, how that helped me one time. So stay tuned. Alright, so we'll give you the mace story and then we're going to get into my stun gun and why I have that and what happened with that 2 times. Scary. So anyway, so this is several years ago, and where I live, where I'm trying to move from, that's why I want to move. And remember, I had the fire. I haven't been able to move quite yet, but that was the goal. So the neighborhood's not horrible, and it's not like totally crime-ridden, but it's not great either. Okay, so you go to the left, it's not good, and you go to the right, it's better. You know, there's places like that just up the road, it's fine, but if you go that way, it's not. So years ago, you know, I stopped avoiding going that direction because it got worse down there. But down that way, there was a car wash. And I thought, you know, it was in the summer and it was when it was still light out, but it was like going on 8:30, 9 o'clock, close to that. And I thought, I'm going to go down, wash my car. It's when you wash by hand. So I went down there, long story short, doing my car, and I noticed, and I had learned this from the guy in the book. I learned this tip here that it gave me. I saw, not too far away, I mean, they weren't close, but they were down the way, across the street. I saw these 2 guys eyeing me. Now, let me explain. They weren't eyeing me because they thought, oh, she's attractive or something like that. They were eyeing me because they were up to something, and I knew it. And so that's where your gut comes in, because you're going to feel a sense of danger. You're just going to feel it. Okay, I don't feel a sense of danger by every guy I see out there at all, but I did them. So that's where that book is called The Gift of Fear. That's where my fear instinct kicked in, and I felt it in my gut, and I learned it. So I learned to trust my gut. I learned to know I have a reason. It's just something about them, okay? There's a good reason. So I was trying to finish up with my car, and it was getting to start to get dark. So I was getting a little scared, okay? And I did what... I mean, the guy in the book, I don't know if he addressed having mace, but he did address letting the perpetrator know, or in that case, remember they're away, looking at them and letting them know, I know, okay? So you'll know what I'm talking about. So I saw that, and so what you do is I turned, and you have to look at them, and it is scary doing that, especially if you think someone's a little dangerous. But you look at them because you're letting them know, I see you, and I know you're not safe. You're letting them know that. You're not like pretending like you don't see them, and that's typically what we normally would do. Don't want to do that. Don't want to pretend. I'm going to look, it's scary, turn and look at them, and then in my case, and this is where this comes in, I looked over the distance, and I had my mace, and I held it up like that for them to see it, and I looked straight at them, letting them know I see you. Held it like that, and I went like that. Okay? They left. They left because I was letting them know, look, I know you're up to something. I know you're scoping this out. I see you, and I have mace. So they're not going to want to do it, you know. I'm giving you the typical. They're not. They're going to want the unsuspecting female or male that looks like they're afraid and, you know, is totally unaware. So they don't, because they don't want to have a problem. So there you go. That helped me. And now I was scared. I will tell you that. I felt fear because it wasn't gut instinct that told me that. Before I get into the stun gun, I think this one's important too. It just came to my mind because this is a case that I didn't use my mace, okay? And it applied, it was good in this situation. So think of this one. And I got this from the guy from the book. So I was in a Lowe's store that's like home improvement because I had to own the apartments, I'd get stuff. I'm in there, and I learned this from the guy in the book. And I noticed, so I'm in a store, but I'm still noticing my surroundings. You don't want to be oblivious to it, even when you're in a store, okay? When you're in your home, you're basically safe, but you're in a store, you still, you know, want to be aware. So I did notice this man was following me. I could tell. I could see him in the corner of my eye, okay? So in order to test that, because I thought he was following me, I purposefully got out of the aisle I was in and went to a whole nother aisle just to see if he was going to follow me or what was what. Because I wanted to get rid of him, you know? So this is what I did. I went to another aisle, saw in the corner of mine, he was there. So I went to another spot. He was there. He was following me. That's not normal. Normal guys, it's not because they think you're cute or whatever. They're not gonna, a perpetrator does those kind of things. A normal guy's not following you all over a Lowe's store. I mean, you know what I'm saying. I mean, they're not gonna do it like that. So, I mean, you know, they're not gonna go to that extent. So, I knew it. So then I applied what the guy said in the book, and it works. It's the same principle. I didn't use the mace then, okay, because mace is in my purse. I didn't use mace, and maybe you didn't have mace. But in that store, I used the same principle. What I did was I turned and looked at him, like turned around and looked straight at him. And that's scary, once again, because they're weird, okay? And it was scary to do it. But I did what he said, because you're letting them know you know. So I turned and I just went like that. And I looked right at him. Square, okay? Again, it was uncomfortable, yeah, but so what? I did it anyway. And he left. That was it. He didn't say one word and he was gone. I didn't see him again. Because I was letting him know, I know, buddy, I know what you're doing. I'm aware. They don't want that. They want you to be where you don't know it, okay? Because they're, who knows, whatever. Okay? He left, and then, of course, when I left the store, I had that out like I do, and I was checking the parking lot out everywhere, you know what I mean? I'll make sure the guy wasn't around there waiting for me there, okay? So I know, it's scary. Who likes that? I don't either, but I mean, you have to look what could have happened, you know what I mean? All right, 2 very scary incidents, okay? And obviously I've had more than my share, okay? So, I mean, you know, I don't know, maybe because I'm out and about myself, you know. I used to be married, but even when then, you're still not with them all the time, or your boyfriend all the time. If you have a boyfriend, you know, still going to have so many times by yourself. So when it applies. So anyway, several years ago, when I was doing a Christmas video for YouTube in Harrisburg, where I live, I was going into the city intentionally because there's a city, and then there is that riverfront where I do a lot of those bridge and beautiful scenery videos. And typically people don't go there at night when it's dark ever. And I know that. I don't do that. However, I thought, because Christmas, I thought there would be all lit up, and I thought there would be lit up and there would be people. I thought it would be out of the ordinary. So that's why I went there. Otherwise, I don't. So, and I'm not talking in the city where the bars are. I'm talking where the riverfront is. So I got in my car parked, and then I'm walking to the riverfront, expecting to see all these lights. There were colored lights under the bridge, but there were no people. Nobody. And it was dark, except for the lights under the bridge and one lit up Christmas tree prior to going across the walking bridge. And I thought, oh my gosh, nobody's here. I didn't expect that. But, you know, I was all like into doing this video. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do for my Christmas video now? I had this all planned. So, of course, being that I know I was going to be going there and walking, even though I thought there would be people, in a case like that, when I'm walking out and about and doing nature videos and stuff, whatever, I have that out, and I have that for extra protection when I'm like that. Okay, so typically that stays in my purse, so I carry it on my wrist. And it's a 950 volt stun gun. I don't hurt somebody. So I don't want to have to use it. I've never used it on anybody, but that would come in for extra protection if they're close in on you. Like if somebody actually attacked you, got it. Just turn the light on. Yeah, turn it on real brief. And yeah, here you go. Wait. Okay. Zaps. You always have to make sure the batteries are charged. Doesn't help you if your batteries are dead. Because one time they were dead, and I was out and about, and I was freaked out. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have any batteries. But anyway, okay, so going to do the video, and I was out there, and I thought, okay, nobody's here. I have this, and I was going to go across the walking bridge because I thought over in this other area there might be lights to see. I thought, okay, I'm going to do that. So as soon as I got on the walking bridge, and you'll see it, I'll attach this video if you want to see it, because I made a video out of it, but I wasn't videoing him when I was afraid of him. I guarantee I was not doing a video. I was dealing with this stuff, okay? So, but you won't see that part on the video. So I got on the bridge, and then once I go up, here there was a guy on the bridge. There was nobody else around but me and this guy. And it was cold out, very cold. It's around Christmas. And this guy had a hoodie on, big cut, you know. He was definitely, he was definitely not a good character, and I knew it. My gut was screaming, and I knew it. So here I'm on the bridge, and he's on the bridge. And if he would have attacked me, there was no one else around. I would have been in trouble, and I knew it. Thank God I had those things. So here's what I did. Again, I did what the guy said in the book, and I was afraid of the guy. But I did it anyway. I had to. Can't. So, thank God I had this because I would have been in trouble without having anything. Okay, so I'm on the bridge and I felt the gut. He didn't say a word. He was staring at me. I knew he was bad news. So I let him know I know, and I did what I told you. I had that out, and I said, in this case, I said to him, I said, hey, buddy, I'm going to tell you now, I have mace. And I said, I have this stun gun, and I had it out on my wrist. And I said, it'll hurt you. I said, it's 950 volts, and I turned the light on, and I zapped it. What do I care what the guy thinks? I could care less, you know? He didn't say a word. Not one word. He just looked, and he went back like that. He didn't say a word, because he knew. I know he was a bad guy. I knew it. And so he didn't say a word, and I continued on the bridge, but I was walking backwards. And I said, I'm watching you. I said, this will hurt you. I know it sounds like a joke, but it really wasn't. I mean, you know, I was making light of it, but I was scared. So I was walking backwards, watching him, and I did it. And then when I felt I was a safe enough distance away, you know, I turned straight ahead, but I wouldn't keep turning around and checking to make sure, because I was already there. So I'm like, go, you know, and then once I got there, I was not going to go any farther. It was freezing cold. There weren't any lights. Turn around, and then I headed back, and the guy was still there. Still there when I walked the whole way back. I had to encounter him again. He was still there. So what's that tell you? And then I said to him, I turned the stun gun on again, zapped it again, the mace, and I had to walk by him. I didn't walk directly by, like I was a little distance away, but, you know, I got past him. It's like, oh my gosh, get out of there. But it was scary. I mean, think if I hadn't had those two things, who knows what would have happened. Bad news. See where that came into play. But I shouldn't have been there in the first place, but I didn't know it was going to be like that. I'll never do that again. Okay? So, that's that story, and I have one more, and I'm only telling you these stories so you can see how it helped me ward off violence and danger. And I wanted to ward off violence and danger for you. Alright, so this is my last and final story. I don't want this video to be too long. Again, so here I am doing my videos, and I'm out and about by myself doing the videos. Yeah, I have to really be careful with that when I'm doing them for that reason. So, it was in the summer, and it was this past summer, and yeah, I went to this place. It's called the Civil War Museum, and it's up on the top of a high hill. It's a very beautiful place. And I've been inside. It's gorgeous, gorgeous museum. But when I'm doing the video, I'm doing it on the outer grounds because it's a gorgeous view. And it sits up on a hill all by itself. And people go up there too. You can go up there after hours and sit there, watch the sunset, walk around. People can ride their bike, whatever. However, it's surrounded by, like, our city of Harrisburg. I don't live in city limits. I live in the suburb. But city limits, you have to watch some certain places and things. And right below that place is not a good area. So you can get a lot of riffraff that come up there at nighttime. You have normal people that can come up there that want to see a pretty sunset. You also have people that come up there that are up to no good or whatever. You know, who knows? Drug deals, whatever, in their car with their tinted windows, you know. So I'm up there doing a video, and it was when it like almost stays light out, pretty late. We're close to 9 o'clock. And I was out in the ground up a little farther, and it was so pretty, and you know, I thought, oh gosh, it's going on 9 o'clock, I better get back to my car. Okay, it wasn't dark yet, but anyway, nobody at that hour is inside, like any workers in the museum or anything. The museum closes earlier, but you know, they have workers. So I'm walking across the ground to go to the parking lot to go in my car. I have that, like I told you, always, whether someone's out or not out, I always have it that. And I have, in that case, when I'm out and about like that, stun gun on my wrist. And as I'm walking, these two guys, two of them, young, you know, in shape, they could have really, you know, hurt me if they wanted. I'm walking this way, they're going that way. And we are distance apart, you know. I don't know how many feet we're distance apart. Okay, but enough that they yelled something at me, and I heard it, they heard me, and I could hear them. And you know what they said? And my gut was very strong with them. I've encountered other people there. You know, I keep my distance, but I have my things that I didn't feel any gut, you know, but I'm still aware. I felt a real strong gut with them that it was danger. They were danger, okay? I felt it right away. And I didn't say anything, and they said to me, they saw the mace. They didn't know what that, you know, notice the stun gun, what that was. They saw that because I held it up, I told you. And they said, oh, you know, something to the effect of, oh, you really think that mace is going to help you? That was scary, them saying that to me. Two guys against me, telling me, do I think it's going to help me? Thank God for the other thing. That's why. That's not enough. This is enough for certain things, but not when you're really out and about, okay? So in that case, I had it, and I was so scared. I'm telling you, the fear was there. I was afraid, but I did what I know. You know, it was scary. And I said, yeah, well, but I said, I have this stun gun, and it's 950 volts, and it'll hurt you bad. And I turned it on, did the zap. They laughed. In that case, they laughed, but they were scared. They laughed. It was like a smart aleck laugh. And they went on their way. They laughed, smart alecky, but they didn't do anything else, say anything more. And I darted to my car, got in my car, locked the door. I was like, I couldn't wait to get out of there. And that was so scary. I mean, I was really afraid. Yeah, I was praying too. Yeah, I was praying, and I think the guy on the bridge, I was praying also inside my head, you know. But, you know, but it's a good thing. You see how being aware helps you, but if you're not aware, they can overtake you, and then in those cases, you just, you know, if you're out, like I'm out doing videos out in nature like that, that's where this comes in. Normally that's inside my purse. I don't carry that on my wrist going to in a parking lot, you know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, that's it. I had some close calls, scary. So, but anyway, look, it's okay. So I just wanted to share that from you, and I got a lot of those tips from the guy in the book about, you know, now if somebody has a gun, I guess we're in big trouble, you know, but there are certain things you can avoid, you know, or everybody's going to have a gun at you kind of situation. But if you're still aware of your surroundings, maybe avoid the person with the gun, okay? So anyway, if you have any questions or comments, please put them below. And I know this is a long video, but I better get going. So, hope it helped you. And until next time, I'll see ya.